Thank you, Mr. Hilly. That'll be 115.29 points. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bananas are just 0.20 credits for 2 kilos. Potatoes, 3.99.
That'll be 19.99.
Please, just once, please. I'm really hungry. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't.
Global supermarket, bringing the world to you.
Ma'am, could you come with me?
Is it me, or is Global stepping up their presence out here? You would think in a place with no zip code, they'd leave you alone.
0147, come in. 0147, 0109 is not reporting in. 0147.
We could turn around,
That's the location is Avenue O, 187th Street.
but they'd chase us.
Investigate, report their 20 and their condition.
Copy. Hey, we got a unit that's not reporting in. We gotta go.
You sure it's okay to wait?
Have faith. Come on, we gotta go.
All right, move along. Come on. Come on.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. I'm here to give you another update on what's going on in China. The way that they're using the QR code, it's leading exactly where a lot of us thought it would lead, actually. For the last several months, you have to show a QR code to do absolutely anything in China. Literally all activities of daily living require permission that can only be granted to you if you show your QR code. It's now a real proposal to inject some chips in people's bodies. And also, something that not too many people know was that recently many people had been shut out of their bank accounts in China. When we look at what's happening now in China, this could be very well what could be happening to us down the road in the not so distant future. So I think it's very important to look at what's going on there because it's giving us a lot of clues. So I'm going to give you all the details on this. And before I start, I just want to say thanks for liking the video. Thank you for your support on Patreon. That keeps my channel going. I really appreciate your support on there. My Patreon, it's like an extra blog that I have. I do post the links every time I make a video or I do a live so that you personally get notified in case YouTube doesn't notify you. You can also message me on there. And I also give extra info, and sometimes I write articles that are just for Patreon as well. China. I found this clip online, and it's a woman who's talking about what's going on in China. Now, all the stuff that she's saying, I'm going to show you some other footage that's going to completely back it up. Now, you've already seen my other videos about the lockdowns. So that's like the backstory to this. And then what comes next? Well, that's what she's going to talk about in this video. So let's check it out.
See that green code up there? It's a green QR code. That is called your safety code. And when the safety code is green, when you have to show your code anywhere, entering a market, going to a bus, going to an airplane, going to another neighborhood.
So this was a clip that I showed you some time ago where people are literally on their knees before these government health officials, or maybe their police. They have to show a QR code to prove they have tested negative for COVID in the last 48 hours. Oh my God, look at this one. It's even being scanned by a robot dog. I heard about this. They can even get rid of police because they have all these robots here that will... I mean, look at this thing. It's like literally a guard dog in front of the gate that is going to scan your QR code to decide if you can come in or not. To get your valid QR code, you have to go to a mass testing site every couple of days and wait around for hours to get swabbed. Quite an onerous task. If it's negative, you can go about your business, but you have to prove your green status every step of the way. Here's a clip of a woman going through a neighborhood. She actually just wants to go to a grocery store. And see how she has to stand in line. They all have to get scanned. Checkpoint number 1. But wait, there's more. She walks a few feet and guess what? You get scanned again. I mean, really. Again. And it has her name and her address on it that she has registered before. So, wow. I mean, that's a lot of checkpoints. Here's what it's like to go shopping in China. So this woman's coming to a mall. She's got a scan to come in. And then once they're inside the mall, they just have to keep scanning. I think I saw this report some months ago, and she was saying, well, if this is what we have to do to stay safe, then I guess it's okay. So notice they all have to have their cell phones to be able to show that they're green, they can go in. So back to what this lady was saying.
You have to scan in your code. If your code is yellow, that means you are restrained. You can only go in your neighborhood. They suspect you. If that code turns into red, you are practically jailed in your home. You are in prison. You can't go anywhere.
I want to show you what happens when somebody shows up in public with the red QR code. Apparently, this is what happened here at, I don't know, it was a train station, a bus station, or something like that. Apparently, someone had it came up red, and it led to a stampede. Here's another case of someone having a red QR code with an ensuing stampede. It's every man for himself. A lot of chaos ensuing. I would guess that's because if it's red, it means, well, the person hasn't been recently tested, so maybe they have COVID. So I would guess that all these people want to get away from them as quickly as possible because that person technically isn't safe. You know, we don't know if they have it or not. None of these people want to be a red person's contact because guess what? Then they're also going to end up jailed in their own homes. So that's the chaos you get. Okay, back to this lady.
And with that code, the second you scan that code in, your everything will pop up on your phone, will pop up in government's computer. That is your health record, when was your last time go doing testing. If you don't do tests for a few days, the code will turn yellow. And where did you go? They have all your life, entire set of data. The government has all the data. It's all done automatically. It's all done with machine, with all the AI technology.
So it's all automated. It's all centralized through a database, and it's required absolutely everywhere you go. So everywhere you go, this is what you're dealing with. So crazy. Everybody has to go along with it because what are you going to do? Be the one person who refuses? You know? Probably that's why they started with China, because they know that people were pretty compliant. Imagine if they tried to do that in America. I have a feeling they would have had a lot of refusers. They would have had a lot more resistance than they got over there.
So the government can even reduce its police forces. It's all AI now. So with that code, you control your life. So how about if I go out, I lost my phone. So if you lost your phone, you'll not be able to go home. And you have to go through enormous trouble to get yourself another phone, another code. And it's now I am not joking, but it's a real proposal today to inject some chips to people's body.
You heard that. It's now a real proposal to inject some chips in people's bodies. Quite understandable, because what they're doing right now is totally unsustainable. I mean, you've seen the chaos. I mean, to us who are out here, who we don't have this system, I mean, honestly, it looks kind of crazy. It's like, what do you need this for COVID? I mean, we live here. I don't have to scan to prove I've had a negative test to go into a grocery store, to really go anywhere. Life is okay. I don't see a big disaster happening. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, the rest of the world is somehow living with this situation without doing this. And yet in China, it's mandatory. It's like they have created a problem. You know what I'm saying? By requiring the constant testing and the constant proof of the green QR code, they have created a problem. And through that problem, there has been created a need to have a better system that's not so burdensome and chaotic. Enter now maybe an injectable chip. Because what happens if you lose your phone, right? That's what she was saying. Something injectable, just wave your hand. I mean, problem, reaction, solution, right?
Al Hosn is the UAE's official COVID-19 app. It is used for PCR tests, contact tracing, and as a vaccination record. Here's how it works. You can download the Al Hosn app from the App Store, Huawei App Gallery, and the Galaxy Store. Free The app works on smartphones running Android and iOS. Register by entering your Emirates ID and phone number, followed by the one-time password sent to your phone. Here's what Al Hosn can do. If you have had contact with someone who has tested positive, the app can warn you to self-isolate. For contact tracing to work, keep the app running in the background at all times. The app also keeps a record of all your COVID-19 test results. It uses a color-coded system to show your health status. If it turns red, it means you have tested positive and you must seek the advice of the local health authority. Amber means you need to be tested or retested because of
I was a heavy heart to carry. My feet dragged across the ground, and he took me to the river where he slowly let me drown.
On Wall Street represent real money for American families. Mutual funds, 401ks, college savings, and pensions all sliding. As today's report shows inflation even worse than last month, now running at 8.6%, the fastest pace since 1981. And there is nowhere to hide. Food up 10.1%, led by soaring egg prices as bird flu ravages chicken flocks. Housing up 5.5%. And gasoline surging every day. $4.99 today's national average, but $6.42 a gallon in California.
I'm stopping at 40. I'm not going over 40. I don't care where it gets me.
Also driving inflation higher, airfares. Domestic airfares averaging $403 round trip. From here in Atlanta out to LA, up 65% from 2019. From New York to Denver, up 58% from 2019. From Chicago down to Orlando, up 47%. At American Coney Island in Detroit,
here you go, you're all set.
Third-generation owner Grace Caros says her costs have soared this year.
26% on buns, 12% on a paper bag, 25% on a hot dog, almost 30% on ground beef and chicken.
In Los Angeles today, President Biden blamed the higher prices worldwide on shippers who are price gouging and Russia's war in Ukraine.
But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas.
Many economists also blame pandemic-related stimulus money and the Fed for not acting sooner. Now the pressure is building on Chairman Jerome Powell to raise interest rates even faster to bring inflation under control. Some experts calling for a full 1% hike next week.
He's got to get control of that narrative and say, listen, we're not going to dribble out the medicine. Let's take it now.
But while pay raises have been wiped out by inflation, unemployment remains near 50-year lows for now.
You know what? We're still here. We're still serving customers, and the sun is shining.
Tom, I'm trying to imagine what some of the dinner table conversations are right now. What is consumer sentiment telling us?
Well, the numbers right now are pretty bad. Consumer sentiment now at the worst levels on record dating back to the 1970s. And the reason is simple. Inflation eats into every family budget. And at the moment, virtually everything Americans are buying costs more. And there's a very real risk that the country is now headed for a recession. Lester.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. Only the names have been changed. The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed.
So I pray to Jesus Christ of Nazareth to cover this message in his blood, to warn people of the coming deception that's been happening. I'll only do this for him and his glory. For we battle with principalities that are here on earth, with the kings that rule, and with the fall of Lucifer. But remember, all good is going to prevail. We just got to stay strong and not fold into the beast system. God bless you, brothers and sisters. This is Mark Jesus, my Savior, and I'm out. God bless.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.